and welcome to Niaga Spotlight with me, Tamina Kowski. Niaga Spotlight goes through the week in economic analysis and future affairs. Now, today on Analysis, we're discussing AI skills for workforce development. More than 75% of Malaysian employers prioritize AI proficiency in candidates, and this is according to recent research by JobStreet, which of course underscores the growing demand for AI literacies across industries. Now, additionally, a study projects that approximately 1.6 million workers here may be displaced by AI technologies by 2026, just next year, with high-skill and middle-skill occupations looking particularly vulnerable. And based on the Decoding Global Talent Report 2024, the Gen AI edition, 79% of young Malaysian professionals anticipate changes in their roles due to AI integration, with many seeking upskilling opportunities to remain competitive, while 28% are expecting significant transformation. The government is actively developing policies to promote ethical AI use and enhance workforce readiness, aiming to balance technological advancement with employment stability. Key areas of concern are including bridging the AI skills gap while overcoming employee fears about AI integration, the role of AI in personalized workforce development, and navigating AI adoption challenges across industries in Southeast Asia. Roy Otsuka, Vice President for Asia Pacific with CoachHub, joins me now online to discuss this very timely topic. A very good morning to you, Roy. Thank you for making time. How are you today?
Good morning, Hina. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So, Roy, let's get the conversation started with looking at the Malaysian market in particular, and perhaps you can use your expertise looking at the overall APAC region. Now, like many other upper middle income nations, Malaysia has a little bit of a quandary happening at the moment. We have our digital economy projected to grow at about 8.1% annually, but at the same time, we also have a widening AI skills gap in our workforce, and we have an estimated shortage of about 20,000 skilled AI professionals in various roles by this year, 2025. What role do you feel that initiatives can play, and some that you have seen already bearing some fruit across the region to address such a skills gap?
Sure. So, yeah, as you said, so AI is transforming industries by automating tasks, optimizing processes, and enhancing decision-making. And in order for companies to stay competitive, companies need employees who understand and can work alongside AI. And even roles that don't involve direct AI programming benefit from AI literacy, as AI tools are becoming integral to everyday workflow. And I'm not an AI product development specialist, but from working with CHLOs and HR leaders in large corporations, I've seen that the scalability and personalizations are the key. So this AI allows companies to provide learning, coaching, and feedback at scale, and ensuring every employee, not just senior leaders, can develop future-ready skills.
Absolutely. Now, it's looking very interesting indeed, because there are a wide range of industries, such as there's finance, there's healthcare and manufacturing, and each of their needs are actually quite unique and ought to be customized as well. So moving along from there, let's look at one of the main factors, which I'm sure that you've come across recently, which is overcoming employee fears about AI integration. Now, Malaysia-wise, Roy, a recent survey is showing us that 58% of workers here are concerned about AI-induced job displacement. And the APAC region is also expected to see AI adoption accelerate naturally. What's your recommendation for Malaysian companies to address these fears?
Sure. So we are seeing reports like Menlo Beach's 2024 AI study showing that companies have invested 6 times more in AI in 2024 compared to the previous year. So this proves that organizations are ready to invest in AI-driven solutions, and not just for automation, but also for scaling learning and development. And in order for us to face this fear from the employees, we have to position AI as an enabler, not a replacement. And organizations can foster the culture of empowerment, and by showing employees how AI can enhance their work rather than eliminate their roles, and also encourage adaptability. by providing opportunities to develop skills that complement AI-driven tools. And also, the important thing is to invest into leadership and behavioral change coaching and equip managers with skills to guide through this transformation, through digital transformation.
Absolutely, I hear you on that. And 6 times more investment as compared to previous years is quite the number to look at. But at the same time, are you seeing that gradual implementation is what is also helping the workforce to adapt to it without exacerbating existing inequalities? We have sectors like retail and manufacturing and services. Automation is really likely to disrupt the current job structures. Are you seeing employers within these sectors having a slightly different approach when it comes to AI training?
Yes, different industries react differently to these AI technologies, but there are some common challenges among these companies. One is this digital readiness, and not all companies have the basic infrastructures for AI, and also there are some skills and training gaps. So employees need continuous learning rather than just one-time training, the continuous learning and coaching to utilize AI effectively. And also, these people management and leadership issues are happening with many companies. So many managers are struggling with giving feedback and leading this AI-driven workplace. And we've seen the industries like retail, the automation is definitely rapidly happening with inventory management and customer-facing work as well. And but so the industry is in the different stages of AI adoption, but these common challenges we've seen with many companies.
Absolutely. Now, it's important also to foster a culture where AI is seen more as an enabler and not a threat. And that definitely happens gradually in each and every workplace, and it's quite customized. Moving into a different area now, Roy, let's look at the role of AI in personalized workforce development. What are some key trends which CoachHub has been noticing of late, let's say just over the past 6 months and hopefully looking at the rest of 2025?
Sure. So historically, for example, coaching was only available to the top 0.1% of executives at workforce, and due to the cost and the scalability limitations. And with digital coaching came in, we expanded this access to almost 20% of the workforce, including senior managers and high potential employees. But this 80% of the employees still lack access to coaching. But now with AI, we see an opportunity to close this gap entirely. Our new solution called AMI, AIMY, our conversational AI coach, the AMI makes coaching accessible to this remaining 80% and helping all the employees to develop their skills while also improving managers' leadership and people management abilities.
Now, it's very interesting that we're looking at a more equitable training landscape when it comes to most industries. Let's look at something a little bit more specialized, perhaps, that requires diverse skills and learning preferences of labor force. There are industries also such as, for example, tech and healthcare in Malaysia. What are some of CoachHub's thoughts about extending the workforce development via AI skills for such sectors?
So yeah, as I said, this AI, when it comes in, we can bring this coaching to this remaining 80% of employees, which who never had access before. So that means those companies can support those frontline employees and junior managers and individual contributors, ensuring everyone can develop AI literacy, but also human-centered skills like problem-solving skills and leadership through these AI coaching. And actually, some of our top, very common topics of coaching is centered on human skills, such as empathy, resilience, and communication. Those are the most common topics that people use coaching for.
That's very interesting. Could you tell me a little bit more about the way in which AI coaching is actually helping us with more what we would traditionally think of as human-centric skills?
Yes. So there's this very interesting report by Gartner, the Future Work Trends report, which says only 13% of employees disagree that AI algorithms would provide fair feedback than their manager. So this tells us two key points. One, the employees, they trust AI and feel comfortable using it for feedback and development. And on the other hand, there's a gap in people management skills for those managers. Many managers struggle with giving fair, constructive feedback. So that means AI can also give fair and constructive feedback to those people who seek to develop their careers and upskill themselves for their career objectives and goals.
That's right. So eliminating a little bit of human bias along this trajectory as well. So clearly it's showing that AI isn't just transforming businesses, it's sort of revolutionizing how employees are able to learn and adapt. So from there, let's go into perhaps a slightly broader landscape, given your experience in the APAC region, Roy. Let's look at navigating AI adoption challenges in the region. Tell me a little bit about this when it comes to the Asia-Pacific region, because AI adoption is projected to be driving a $1.2 trillion increase in GDP by 2030. That's just a few short years away. But only 17% of workers, less than 20% across APAC, have received any form of adequate AI-related training. A huge gap, but also an incredible opportunity. Let's focus on how businesses can approach this now that we're informed with this type of data.
Sure. So instead of viewing AI as a standalone economic driver, the business must embed AI into workforce planning and ensuring employees develop the skills to contribute to the growth. So the traditional upskilling models are very slow to adapt to rapid AI advancement, and leaving workers struggle to keep it up. But this AI-powered coaching and AI technologies provides real-time and personalized learning that evolves the industry needs and ensuring workers stay competitive in this AI-driven job market.
That's right. So that is one approach for how businesses can look at it instead of just being a single suite. Are you noticing any trends with how governments are approaching the potential tripling in GDP numbers, but at the same time being cognizant that their general workforce is still woefully inadequately AI trained?
Mm-hmm. So, yes, governments are also trying to push this AI to leverage this technology to upskill and reskill the workforce of the countries, and different countries react differently, and some countries are cautious on adapting AI, but what I see from my experience talking with the business leaders is that they are adapting AI technologies so quickly so that they can develop their employees for this rapid changing business world.
And when we look at specific workforce details, perhaps looking at agriculture, where there are already existing inequalities, are there any trends that you have been noticing in APAC, particularly looking at how reliant we actually are on agriculture as a sector? But at the same time, there are traditional labor shortages, but also not wanting to discourage employees who are already in this sector by introducing AI skills.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so industry like agriculture, this AI-powered precision farming can enable farmers to use data-driven insights for better crop yields. So AI is not necessarily replace those workers, but to enable them to do better at their work. And this is same for the other industries like retail. The employees can be trained to manage AI-enhanced machines and analytics tools to get the better results.
So that's agriculture and retail. Would you have any insights to share around manufacturing, which is another industry that looks at overcoming AI barriers for integration, especially for the human component?
Sure. So again, for example, for this coaching, those manufacturing employees, especially those who are at the plants, they did not have access to this soft skill development opportunities. But with this AI technologies came in, for example, this AMI, they can have access to this personalized real-time coaching and personal training through their mobile devices, so that they can enhance their soft skills and such as communications, resilience, while at working out those plants and manufacturing locations.
That's right, exactly. With mobile phone adoption reaching upwards of 90, 95 percentile, even in the manufacturing sector, that will be something that is a lot more practical and perhaps something which can be integrated not only within work hours, but as a continuing update through the work week. Thanks for that, Roy. Let's move on into a broader landscape and a look at the future of work in an AI-driven Asia. So this has all happened in a rapid time. Now, AI technologies are also projected to, on the flip side, to be creating 12 million new jobs around Asia by 2030, but at the same time also automating up to 35% of existing jobs. So how can businesses in our region, especially in our rapidly developing countries like Malaysia, effectively balance creation of new job opportunities and also large-scale workforce reskilling, which is happening concurrently at the same time?
Right. So traditional trainings often overlook soft skills, yet 54% of workers fear losing these competencies due to automation, especially for those traditional manufacturing companies. And these AI-powered coaching platforms like we provide can deliver scalable and tailored learning experience to refine critical thinking, communication, and those human-centric skills, soft skills, to keep thriving those AI-driven workplace, so that those all those people at workplace, they can get those tailored training for themselves.
Exactly. May I ask for some thoughts that you may have before we even move into the workspace itself? Is there any integration which you are noticing happening with the arena of higher education institutions and them collaborating with potential direct employers who will be, of course, the ones benefiting from graduates coming out of the university systems? Or are we still really seeing the trend only focusing on AI workforce development once people have already entered the workforce, Roy?
That's a great point. And the report shows that there's a generational gap in terms of this AI adoption. And the younger generations, like students in college, they are really quick on adapting to new technologies, and they're actually every day using technology like ChatGPT and other generative AI tools for their research and study. So they are even more equipped to work with this AI-driven workplace before they came into the actual work. So, and actually, a lot of universities and institutions implementing those AI tools as part of their learning programs to equip those students to be ready before getting into this workplace.
That's right. Now, some interesting data at the same time, though, is also showing the Shanghai Review, which basically calculates and looks at the overall standing of universities in China. The late 2024 report showed that close to 300 universities around China have been offering some form of AI-related course, either a full course or just subjects, but only around less than 100 students were actually able to attain A grades in all of these AI-related subjects. So does that also point to a bit of a skills mismatch, especially within the higher education institute level? And is it signaling that perhaps specialized coaching providers ought to be the ones to collaborate at a bigger industry level to make sure that graduates for industries all the way from law to business, etc., are AI adaptable?
Yeah, that's correct. So, as I said, the traditional coaching was only available for those senior leaders and executives. But by enabling this AI coaching into the workplace, this can reach out to those new grad students who just came into the workplace, who might have struggled with their shift from students to employee. So that's where the AI can come in and help those people, their personalized needs and objectives, and help them reflect on themselves and learn new skills, soft skills, including through this AI coaching.
That's right. And let's now shift the focus a little bit to the management level. We also have some recent studies which are showing that about 64% of managerial level folks in Malaysia and even across APAC feel rather unprepared to lead AI adoption initiatives. But the region's AI market is expected to reach $13.6 billion in value by 2027. So what approach can companies then take to collaborate to equip company managers with technical as well as leadership skills? Are there any perhaps targeted training programs that you could recommend or tell us about?
Sure. Yes. So the leadership is a big issue in terms of adapting AI as well. And a lot of reports shows that the middle managers, they are struggling to lead employees in this rapid changing environment. And that's where the combination of traditional in-class learning trainings and AI coach could be very beneficial for those leaders, because the leadership is something that you can not only learn from classroom, but the everyday work. So that having this personalized coach available to you real time, anytime, 24/7, this AI coach can help leaders to learn and develop their leadership skills and enhancing their empathy, critical thinking, strategic thinking, all those soft skills they can learn through this AI coaching.
That's right. So looking at the fact that now you have everything at your fingertips 24/7, 365, but let's move into some more specific arenas where accessibility may be a little bit of a challenge. Perhaps we can talk about looking at rather than just frontline workers to senior management, there are also some disparities in digital infrastructure when it comes to different economies across APAC. How are you seeing businesses which are not necessarily based in urban centers also deal with AI skills for their workforce, Roy?
Sure. So there's definitely a gap of this AI infrastructure readiness among companies, but technology also helps them to access to those learning contents and coaching. And now that all those services, including what we provide from CoachHub, they are cloud services, so that the people can access from their smartphones through the mobile internet network. So those companies who traditionally did not have access to those coaches and trainings because of their location, now they have more access to these contents and learning opportunities through these AI and digital technology.
That's right. And let's have a sharper focus now then for a little bit, Roy, looking at AI upskilling and how it needs to go beyond technical teams. Quite often, especially in small and medium industries where perhaps the understanding is that you require AI upskilling, at least for those handling your digital back end, but then it ignores the rest of the employees within that specific company. So looking at AI upskilling beyond technical teams, your best practice recommendations for this?
Sure. So AI is not only for those engineers and programmers, but for all people working in different functions can benefit from understanding, having this AI literacy and having how to use these technologies to enhance their performance. So having learning through these AI coaching is going to help them to learn from AI and also how to maximize the power of these technologies for their daily work.
That's right. So not just for daily work, but I would perhaps now like to end out with a short discussion before we leave Roy on strengthening human-centric skills, which is of course an interesting opportunity when it comes to AI skills adoption. So AI is expected to automate up to 30% of tasks in Asia Pacific by 2030. So how can Malaysia and other regional countries strategically invest in strengthening human-centric skills? We're talking emotional intelligence, critical thinking, ensuring that those do not get put to the wayside.
Absolutely. So what coaching can help is not only the technical skills or hard skills, but also those soft skills that are necessary for successful transformation they can learn through coaching and mentoring. And some of the most popular topics are resilience and emotional regulations, empathy, creativity, and authenticity. Those skills are very critical for any type of transformation that organizations are going through. And learning those through a personalized coaching is going to help them and equip them to get through these transformation and get closer to their objectives.
Thank you. Thanks very much for your keen insights in so far, Roy. It's been an excellent conversation, and we're very glad to have had you here on Niaga Spotlight. Well, that's all we have time for today. That was Roy Otsuka, who's Vice President for APAC with CoachHub, and we'll see you again next week with more business analysis and insights. I'm Tamina Kowski signing off for now. Here's to a productive week ahead.